If you're a fan of bold and expressive art, come check out my Patreon. For just $1, you'll get exclusive access to artwork that I don't share anywhere else. Click the link in the video description to dive into my daring creations and unique artistic style. Venezuelan men deported from the United States to El Salvador's notorious Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo, SACOT, mega prison endured systematic torture, according to lawyers representing several of the victims. These harrowing accounts shed light on the horrific conditions within SACOT, a facility human rights groups condemn as a site designed for the disappearance of individuals. The revelations follow a prisoner exchange between the United States and Venezuela, orchestrated by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, which secured the release of 10 American citizens and numerous Venezuelan political prisoners in exchange for the repatriation of the Venezuelan deportees held at SACOT. The reunion of these men with their families, after months of agonizing uncertainty, is a poignant counterpoint to the brutality they allegedly suffered. José Manuel Ramos Bastidas' emotional embrace with his wife, son, and mother upon his return to El Tecuyo, Venezuela, captured the desperation and joy of families separated for far too long. His family had endured a prolonged period of fear and uncertainty, unsure of his fate while he was incarcerated. The ordeal, according to his partner Roinerlies Rodriguez, has been a living nightmare, a sentiment echoed by the families of other deportees. The repatriation, however, offers only a fragile respite. The fight for justice for those subjected to alleged state-sanctioned torture continues. Ramos Bastidas and other deportees claim they were informed they faced sentences ranging from 30 to 90 years in SACOT unless the U.S. president intervened. Their testimonies paint a stark picture of systematic abuse. Repeated beatings, humiliation, and the use of rubber bullets are among the allegations. One particularly disturbing account describes a 6-day period of continuous beatings after a failed attempt to break cell locks, with female guards allegedly involved in the abuse and recording the events. Edixon David Quintero Chacon, another deportee, detailed prolonged solitary confinement, where he feared for his life, scars from daily beatings, and the cruel choice between hygiene and public humiliation, as soap and bathing opportunities were only provided on days when visitors toured the prison. Limited food, contaminated water, and constant illumination prevented any meaningful rest. These accounts, detailed in interviews and legal filings, corroborate the severity of the alleged abuses. Stephanie M. Alvarez-Jones, the Southeast Regional Attorney at the National Immigration Project, representing Quintero Chacon, describes the lasting psychological toll inflicted on her client and others. She emphasized the gravity of the situation, highlighting the involvement of U.S. government officials in these alleged acts of state-sanctioned violence. Her filing seeking the dismissal of her petition to secure her client's release underscores the profound and irreversible harm inflicted. Alvarez-Jones' statement underscores the urgent need for accountability. Ramos Bastidas, who has never been convicted of any crime, had never previously set foot in the U.S. as a free man. He left Venezuela seeking better economic opportunities to provide medical care for his asthmatic child. He presented himself at a U.S.-Mexico border port of entry, applied for asylum using the now-defunct CBP-1 application, but his request was denied. Flagged as a potential member of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua based on unsubstantiated Panamanian intelligence and tattoos, he was detained pending deportation. Despite agreeing to return to Venezuela, his deportation was delayed. His hope of returning home was dashed when he was transferred to SACOT after months of detention. Alvarez-Jones expresses outrage at the decision to send him to SACOT instead of deporting him directly to Venezuela. The timeline reveals a series of events that culminated in his detention at SACOT, raising serious questions about the U.S. government's role in what its lawyers are now alleging constitutes state-sanctioned torture. The case highlights the urgent need for a thorough investigation into the alleged abuses within SACOT and the accountability of those responsible for the fate of these Venezuelan men. The stories of these men, far from isolated incidents, represent a disturbing pattern demanding immediate and comprehensive attention from international human rights organizations and governmental bodies. The long shadow cast by this alleged state-sanctioned torture demands a sustained and unyielding pursuit of justice. The fight for truth, accountability, and lasting change for the victims is far from over.